Queens, divas of a more mature age, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here on my channel today. I am the Eva Monroe, and I wanted to pop on real quick at the beginning of this video. About 2 months ago, I recorded this video with 3 friends of mine called Healing in the Garden. And this was actually one of my most well thought out videos. This video actually means more to me than any other video that I've ever recorded. I actually hired a cameraman, a sound guy, to make sure that this video was going to be everything that I wanted it to be. And unfortunately, this video has some serious audio issues. Now, I was being kind of crazy. I was being a little cray-cray because I honestly did not want to upload part 2 due to all the audio issues and everything else that was going on in this video. But the other side of me said, you know what? There is some really important information in this video that needs to be shared. These women need to be heard. Their vulnerability really needs to be saw by many other women who may be sharing some of these same issues that we have overcome or are still overcoming. So, first allow me to explain the reason why I am so loud in this video, because I'm the loudest one. And it happens to be because for some reason both of the microphones were the closest to me. They were both pointed. I was sitting close to one camera, and then the center microphone was actually the closest to me. So that's the reason why I come across as being so loud. And aside from that, I'm just used to speaking on camera and having to project my voice. So I ask that you bear it as much as you can. Try to ignore the audio issues as much as you can, and just listen to what the ladies are saying, what they're speaking about, because that's the most important part of this video. So thank you again to the ladies that were willing to sit with me and bare their souls. And I encourage more women, more sisters, to sit down together and have a real vulnerable moment together. So thank you guys so much for watching me. I hope you enjoy the video. Until I see you again, be blessed and bye for now.
Be okay and set in where you are right now.
Yeah, you do. And you also, what I found was you also have to surround yourself with people who are real, who are as real as you are, if not more real, and who are okay with who you really are.
Yes.
You know, I had to like move people, because there were some people in my life because they were in my life because other people maybe brought them into my life, and I was like, okay, well, they're fun, and then I had to step back one day and I had to say, wait a minute, these aren't, these aren't the people that I can be real with. These aren't the people that I can have a genuine conversation with, and so I had to move those kind of people away from me when I got to a place to where I was like, okay, I'm cool with what's going on over here. Now I have to be around people that are also cool with, that are on that same level.
Yeah. For me, that's the key for me, for my healing right now, is to allow people into my life that are the right people. I've moved everyone out of my life, including my family. I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with that, but they were all toxic. I had a very toxic um, upbringing, and I was the whipping girl for everybody. So I do not have my family in my life, and also the friends that I allowed in my life in the past, they weren't the right ones. So they are all moved out, and I have to constantly remind myself, because I'll meet some people, and it's like, Shantae, that's the same type of person that you've been trying to keep out of your life. Why are you having that same type of person come into your life? So for me, that's the biggest key to my healing right now, is to find people that are good for me in my life, and that I'm good for them in their life.
Because we attract oftentimes to us what we are, even though we don't understand that we are it, and we keep having these people come in our lives. Whenever I hear women say, "Oh, I only get dogs. Only dogs dogs are attracted to me. It's like woof woof, girl.
Say that I don't trust women. You don't trust
I
yourself.
don't trust women. Don't you hate that?
Oh my God! I'm
yes.
like, my good friends are the be where I am right now.
Right.
Without my good friends,
Yeah.
they're everything to me. And I think if you close your heart to a woman, then you have closed your heart to great possibilities. Men can do stuff all day if you don't close your heart.
Right, exactly.
A woman do one woman that's ratchet, does something crazy, and all women are bad. You know, but I am thankful for the people in my life. I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for you, Miss Eva. You know, I've always had a special love
equally thankful for you.
And it just makes a difference having because I can say things to you I can't say to my family.
Right.
I could call my friends and say, hey, you know, right now today, going through this radiation, all the top of my hair done came out. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
You know, and I can cry. And they were like, you know what, it's okay. Let's go get some wigs. You know.
Right.
And whatever it is that I need, my friends have been vital to my existence. You know, they're everything to me. And I have learned going to cancer to protect that, to protect my energy, to protect who's in my circle. You know, just not don't just let people in because they're family or because they've been there for 30 years. You know, and love them. Yeah. But protect that.
Yeah, sometimes you have to love someone.
A distance, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, going through, I mean, you know, I recently did my life coach certification.
Yeah.
And after going through that, it just kind of helped me open my eyes to my direction and the path that I need to be on.
Oh, yeah. That course is eye opening, ain't it? That course is like, oh my God. I was taking that course to be 100% honest because, you know, people were saying, oh, you know, people wanted to talk to me and I was like, okay, well, I need to be doing something here. I never knew that it was going to help me.
Heal you.
You know, heal me. So, yeah. Yeah, but you know what I think that woman, the don't trust no woman thing comes from? I think that comes from oftentimes the relationships that some of us have with our mothers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And because if you can't trust your mother, how the hell you gonna trust Sheila?
Right.
You have to learn to do that. And well, your parents, the closest thing to you.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to trust them, rely on them, and they're supposed to be there for you, right? That's how it's supposed to be. But we all don't walk that path.
No,
we don't have that. And like you were saying, I mean, I understand. I moved out whenever I was 16. I got pregnant at 15.
Yeah.
First kid at 16 and on my own ever since I was 17 years old. So I think a lot of our stories, all things connected, is what I'm seeing and what I'm listening.
Yeah.
And another thing I had to learn, this was another thing I learned going through cancer. Because you heal doesn't mean you forgive. Because I was meditating, and I was like, God, show me what I need to know. What am I still holding on to? And something in my spirit again said, you haven't forgiven. You hold grudge. I'm like, me?
Right.
Denial, don't even know I'm lying. I'm like, me? Show me. And then these names start hitting. Bam, bam, you ain't forgave her. She stole from you. That chased her down with a baseball bat. I was I did let that go eventually, but I see her, it's like that. You know, in my back of my mind.
Yeah.
and I really, and God just started bringing up names of people that I was still kind of deep down holding on to.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, then if their name popped up, because you asked, you will get. As their names popped up, I was like, okay, I release you.
Yeah.
Then somebody else like, yeah. I release you.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even realize that I had so much unforgiveness. You know, that was deep down, and then that causes sickness and all kinds of things.
It does. That's why they say forgiveness is not for them; it's for you.
Yes. Yeah. That's part of my healing process, and that's why I ask when I meditate, when I get silent, like, what is it you want me to know, or what's the best next move for my life, or who do I need to let go, and then all these names, I'm like, okay, you know, and so it's a process.
Yeah,
it is. That's part of growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think sometimes I have thoughts that I've forgiven, and later it pops up where I didn't.
Then you haven't forgiven.
Dug deep and really did the forgiving thing, and even had reasons why I should forgive and all that. And later on, you know, maybe a year or two later, I feel that again where I'm upset about it. Then
Yeah.
I lay it back. I'm like, yeah.
And it brings,
Yeah,
And then I
brings
lay it
it.
back down. I'm like, God help me, because I'm still struggling with this. So help me.
Right.
It's a process.
It's a process.
It is.
It is a process.
Yeah.
Like the guy that killed my niece, he got released, and I'm like, God, you got to help me. You got to help me because I'm not there. That's honest.
Absolutely.
And then I can get help that way. And it's a process.
It is. It's a process. Definitely a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
And you be honest about it. Because the more you're not honest about it, the more it's going to keep coming. It's going to keep showing itself.
Yeah.
If it's showing yourself, whether it's through it's going to come up or it's going to come up in different ways. It's going to come up. Well, can you forgive, but also feel like you want that person to have their justice that they deserve? Yeah.
You can feel like that, but you can't dwell on it.
Right.
You can't sit there and be like, I would feel so much better and I would be able to let this go if they gave this person 72 years in prison. Because you still don't have the opportunity to move past that. Right. There was one person in my life that I was holding on, child. And I had to write a letter. And I wrote everything in this letter. I was like, I hate you, I hope your dick falls off, pardon my French. And I did. And I folded that letter up. I wrote somebody's address on it. It wasn't their address, but I wrote somebody's address on it. It was a legit address because I found it online, and I mailed the letter off, and I was like, okay. Now I know in my heart of hearts, he didn't read the letter. He wasn't the one that read it, but I put it on paper and mailed it, sent it out of my life,
And sometimes you burn it.
Yeah, burn it too. Yeah, burn it and be done with it, because it's not, that stuff is not doing anything but holding you back, holding you back. And the individual that I struggle with, I could not, I had a hard time with forgiving, ended up being sick, and every time I turned around, they were like, oh, he's on his way out. He's on his way out. That man laid up on his deathbed for 6 years, you know. And every time I turned around, because I knew a person that was taking care of him, they were like, oh my God, he always has a catheter infection. They don't know how they're going to release oh, he has a catheter infection, does he? Well, you know where they put the catheter in men. Like God said, you sin with your mouth. You sin with your hands. You know what I'm saying? And so God will take care of it,
That's right.
He'll take care of it. And when I really struggle with forgiveness, I think about the times I needed forgiveness. And it's mercy.
Yeah. My God.
It's a brand new mercy every morning. I think about the times I needed forgiveness.
Yeah.
It is. I'm like, okay, I need to make some things right with some people, and I just have to let it go, because that's what helps me with forgiveness, because I'm human. I like that. Anything human is humanly possible.
Yeah.
So we're all possible of doing all kinds of things. Quote by Maya Angelou. I love that quote. We're all human. We are human things. We're human. So I've needed forgiveness, and I've had forgiveness. People have forgiven me, so I owe that.
Yeah.
Or what I've been hearing lately, it's been coming from different angles, is that you don't know their story.
Right.
And so
yeah,
we have. I think if we knew more of what other people's story was,
yeah,
and it explained more of why they may have done the things that they've done,
yeah,
then we would have more compassion to who they are, not necessarily okay with what they did,
right,
but more compassion about, okay, well, they were broken too,
yeah,
and that's why they ended up doing what they did, and
I'm glad you said that.
Yes, that's so good.
That fixed things. That changed how I felt about my mother. Yeah. Because I didn't know my mother back in their days when they were growing up, and then when they had all of us, they didn't talk about what they went through with my grandfather.
They did not
talk about it, and when I confronted my mother about some stuff that happened to me, and I was like, hey, you took me over here and left me, and these people did this, that, and the third to me, and my mother just broke down. And I'm like, okay, I was hurt. You know, this was my moment because I was clearly violated, but I'm consoling my mother. Right. I'm like, and I never seen my mother cry like that ever in my life. And then she told me, she was like, this happened to all of us. Wow. Your grandfather, every last one of us. And then I learned, what she actually went through. And
like what happened to you? That's the question, not what's wrong with you, but what happened to you.
Yeah.
And that's when the healing begins.
Right.
That's when you have compassion for other people. Mm-hmm. And the pain they even caused you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I'm glad you said that, because that's definitely what changed the way I felt, because I got to this moment where I know you don't say you hate your mother, but I thought I hated her. Yeah. I was like, ooh, that woman, you know. That woman is something. But yeah, totally changed the way that I felt. I said to myself, okay, because I heard on Oprah one day, many years ago, that she did what she knew how to do.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And unfortunately, she's never. When it says, the saying is, when you knew better, you did better. Right. Unfortunately, she's never did better, but she did what she knew how to do.
Maybe she knew because you knew she knew, but maybe she didn't receive it how you received it.
Exactly.
And I think that's kind of how we get caught up, because you're right. I have to think that when it comes to my parents, I always think they did the best they could with what they knew how.
Exactly.
And I constantly remind myself of that,
right,
because that's what makes me more compassionate about who they were and how they were to me. Yeah. And that's how I'm able to forgive, is because I think about, okay, well, they didn't, from their consciousness. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were able to see it this way. And even when they knew more, it still doesn't mean that they were conscious of what I'm conscious of.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true. And it helped me when I had my daughter. That helped me forgive my mother. Really. When I had my daughter, because she was a handful. And my son looked at me through rose-colored glasses. Like, my mom isn't perfect. What are you talking about? My daughter, like, no. She's far from perfect. Matter of fact, here's a list of her faults. And my daughter and I struggled. And I had to look at her and say, you know what? If I want forgiveness from my daughter, because I wasn't perfect, I did what I knew.
Right. Yeah.
I did the best. My mother, they used to irk me when I did the best that I could. But they do their best. I did my best. Mm-hmm. She did her best. And her best may not have been what I needed, but it was. It made me. I look at my sisters, we're strong women.
Yeah.
And not to say that strong is always good, but we have been able to survive. We have been able to take care of ourselves. We've been able to raise our children very well. We definitely learned what not to do.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And I think if people would take that, learn what not to do and apply that to, because you don't get a handbook when them jokers come in this world. You just like, oh, okay.
I got a baby, right. Don't do this, because she did that,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's no handbook. I'm telling you, they need to make one though.
Maybe we need to make one.
Right. When you're laying up there in labor and delivery, you need to be on chapter 1. Okay. What I got to do tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember one of the most life-changing things for me is when I watched, it was the Oprah show, going back to Miss Oprah, and it was where Toni Morrison was on there, and she said everybody wants to feel like they matter. Oh yeah. It struck me. You know how something hits your soul? Mm-hmm. And I sat up, and she's like, when your kid walks in the room and you look at everything that's wrong with them, and not look at what's right with them.
Yeah.
It struck me, and I said to myself, I said, wow, and I was in a bad relationship at the time.
Yeah.
And I said, when did I stop mattering to me? Because that's a reflection back to me.
Yeah.
You treated me how I see myself. So I asked myself, when did I stop mattering to me? What happened?
Right.
And I remember being 10 years old. I could visually see it looking out the door as my dad drove away in his station wagon with my five brothers and sisters saying, "You probably not mine. You're not even as pretty as the rest of these kids. You probably not mine. So
Oh.
I'm a leave." And I remember having my leotard on with tears running down my eyes, and that's when my innocence broke.
Yeah. That's yeah.
It struck me, and I said, "That's when I stopped mattering to me. That moment there." That moment, damn,
I call them Dream Assassinator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, soul stealers.
Right.
You know.
But and they didn't even know the damage that they were causing.
About it. He was like,
Yeah.
"What? I'm sorry. I was trying to hurt your mama. That got nothing to do with you."
Right.
Oh my gosh. But it devastated me, and I was a little girl. I felt my entire life that I was ugly.
Yeah.
I felt my entire life that I wasn't pretty, that something was wrong with me, and I was all these messages. And I remember, and that's when it hit me in that moment. When I asked again through meditation, when did I stop mattering to me? In that moment, my spirit was broken.
Yeah, that I remember my moment was with my stepdad first. And he asked me, he said, "Yeah, what do you want to be when you grow up?" You know? And I said, "I want to be a model. I want to be a supermodel, you know?" And he was like, "Oh, no, no, you're going to have to be something else. You too short and you ain't pretty enough." Yeah, and I went and talked to my mom, and I asked my mom, I said, "Hey, I said I wanted to be a supermodel, you know?" And he said, and my mom said, "Oh, yeah, supermodels are really tall and they're really pretty." She confirmed it.
Yes.
So I got a double, you know, a double whammy. They hit me with the 1-2, you know. And from that moment on, you know, okay, damn, I'm short and I'm not pretty.
I'm not enough.
Yeah.
I'm not enough. I'm not enough.
I'm not enough.
And I did. I grew up thinking that I was. And the first guy that liked me, I thought, wow, somebody likes me, because I thought that was it.
And there it go, right there. There go. Here's getting ready to come the promiscuity and the yeah.
I married the first guy too. So this is it.
I can't give you guys a moment. There was way too many of them, but I did hear quite a bit that my mom said when I was born. She would say it all the time that I was so ugly that I was cute. She would tell people this all the time when I was a newborn.
Wow.
I'm so ugly that I'm cute, and that continued. You know, with everyone saying I was ugly, I thought I was very ugly, and everyone else did. So, and there were just many. There were many, many, many soul stealers.
Yeah, they're soul stealers. That's exactly what that is.
Mine was I think I was 8. I thought I was gonna be a singer girl. I was gonna be like Miss Aretha or something. And somebody said, "She sang all right, probably good enough for a background." And I sung in church and everything.
So you can sing though.
Yeah, I just knew I was gonna be a singer. She was like, "She sings okay," but I'll never forget what she said, and I'll never forget who said it. In that moment, I didn't think I was good enough.
Yeah, and then now you're a background singer now. You know, thank you, Miss Rita or whoever.
My family told me to stick to dance. Don't even try to sing. Yeah. But then I realized when my dad said that he was probably trying to hurt my mother, and that's when I realized there's a difference between healing and forgiveness. I forgave my dad, but I didn't heal from that.
Right.
I had to go back and talk to little Kim, that 10-year-old girl standing in the door with her leotard on.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? I had to renew my mind. I had to renew my mind. I had to give other messages. No, you are wonderfully made. You are beautiful. Not need and all. So I had to go renew my mind. I had to redo the messages.
Yeah.
You know, and
I had to catch myself with my son. My son he started with soccer. And then he came home one day, he said he wanted to run track. And I said, okay, because I would let him, whatever you want to do. And he was good. Like, he was really good, right? So I'm like, oh, I got me a track star. So my son came home one day and he told me that he wanted to be a yell leader with pom-poms and the flipping the girl. And I was like, oh, no, dog. No. I don't think so. But I didn't say that to him, but a friend of mine who was a coach at his high school, I said, "Oh, Mr. So and So, my son that came home and told me because he would flip like he would get a mattress and put it in the backyard, or he would flip over stuff. You know, he taught himself how to flip. You know, my son wants to be a yell leader. Like, who put this idea in his head?" And I'll never forget it. The coach's name was Mr. Moss. He said, "Oh, let him. He gonna get a full ride scholarship. Wait and see." And I said, "Okay." He said, if the boy want to flip, let him flip. He's black. He's good. He gonna get a full ride scholarship." And he did. Wow. I was like, okay. I went home, told him, "All right, if you want to flip, flip." I thought you was gonna be the next Usain Bolt, but you know, you want to do gymnastics, that's on you. Right. Yeah, and he got a full ride scholarship. So I was like, okay, fine. But I had to check my feelings at the door in that moment, and that was when I learned how important it is to, whenever they come with you, it don't matter how stupid it is or how stupid you think it is, you just be like, "Oh, boy, you gonna be the best Play-Doh builder or maker, whatever. You gonna be good at that."
I constantly tell them that they can be what, yeah, can be
whatever you want to be.
Imagine your children, who you are now, and what you're learning, what they are blessed with.
Right.
You know, everything has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. So I'm really excited for your journey. I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm excited for your journey because your kids are getting something that's so pure and so beautiful now.
And I see it manifest inside of them. I mean, you know, my son does real well, and my daughter does real well. All of my kids, I think, you know, they're on the right path, and they're living their life. So, I mean, I really see all that I feel stuff into them. I'm constantly planting seeds. I always say, "Well, I'm gonna plant this seed. I don't care if you want to hear it or not." And I used to always play like motivational stuff. Right. And they get in the car. They hated it. Right. They're like, "You gotta listen to this." I say, "Yeah, you're gonna listen to it because that's what I'm listening to." And it would be motivational speakers talking about how, you know, you are what you think about.
Renewing
how you can, how you can create whatever you want. You know, my son came to me last week. He went to Colorado. He's in Colorado right now. He went for 10 days with a family, with one of his friends. And he says, "Mom, I need $500." I said, "Boy, I could take my whole family on a trip for $500. What are you talking about $500?" He said, "Well, I just need $500." And I said, "I'm gonna give you $125, and then you just gonna have to manifest the rest of it." What? He was so mad. I said, "Look," I said, "create." Right. And then I just left it alone. He went to Colorado last week. The boy came up with $750.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were like, "Can I get my 100 back?"
Right. So they definitely know how to create, and I know it's the seeds that I'm planting.
Yeah. And that's breaking the cycle, right? Because that's what it's all about.
It is.
Gotta break that cycle. Jeez. It is. So, any closing thoughts? Anybody have any closing thoughts? This was good. We have to do this again. We have to do this again. Like, this is good. This is like, you know. Whew.
I just feel the good energy and the presence, and I just am thankful that I'm always going to share my story, and I'm so thankful that everything I've been through has brought me to today. To just speak right here, right now.
Absolutely.
You know, all the pain, all the love, all the joy just brought me right here, right
now. Yeah, you know. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I also agree with that. You know, like I was saying earlier, that it's hard for me to really find, you know, people that are good for me, and so I don't take it for granted that I'm sitting with 3 people that I feel are good for me. So thank you.
Thank you for being here with us. Absolutely. Rita, you have any?
Well, I mean, I just want to say I appreciate this moment. I'm like you. Gratitude brings abundance, and I could use some abundance in my life, you know. And then sometimes it's really hard to find people that can at least want to tap into um, some of the things that we talked about with healing and forgiveness. There's a lot of people that don't even know that they even want to begin to forgive, and and we're already at a stage where we're aware, we know it's needed, and we're wanting to take the necessary steps. So I'm just having gratitude, and I appreciate this moment. I appreciate you for inviting me.
Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you. So real quick, if we could go around the room, I would have everyone say one step in healing. What's one thing to start doing for the women that are watching this and they want to begin the process of healing? Like what's one thing you feel like they need to do?
I went back and found little Kim and looked at what were my what damaged me, what hurt me, what was my innocence broken. And I had to go back and hug her. And I had to renew my mind and say, those messages that you got that you want enough, you are enough. You are enough. But I had to go back because I thought I had gotten past that because I forgave my dad. But healing and forgiveness are two different things. Yeah. I had to learn that. And so what really helped me is to go back and hug and look in and heal her.
That's good. What about you, Shante?
I think just knowing that you need healing is something that a lot of people don't even know.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So just to actually admit that there's something that you need to work on.
Right.
Uh, for me, I think it's your thoughts. I mean, it's all in your mind. It's all your perception. Um, if you change your perception, then you'll change how you feel about whatever situation.
Change your mind, change your life, right?
I posted that a couple of days ago.
Did you? Yeah. Um, I would say fall in love with yourself. Start working on falling in love with yourself. That's huge. Yeah, we focus so hard on falling in love with other people. You know, we're always thinking about falling in love with some dude or focusing our time and our attention and giving him everything that we have. Give you everything that you have and fall in love with yourself. Yeah. Be kind to yourself. Yep.